The Daily Purge. Wow, how are you doing today? I hope you're doing fantastic. Today I want to talk about something about self-sabotage and how self-sabotage is so very close in love and in business that it's sometimes scary, right? Sometimes when one's going well, the other one's not. And when one's going, one side's well, the other one's not. We talk about balance all the time. I'm a more of a big fan of integration, less of balance. I think balance is almost impossible because we're only one person. I mean, balancing yourself means splitting yourself in two or what? So I'm more of a integration guy, if you know what I mean, right? So what do I mean by that? Self-sabotage, love, and business. Well, I was talking to a client. Morning, Olga, how are you? I was talking to a client. And, she's just incredibly a powerful woman and just really amazing person. And I love working with her. She's one of those people you just love hearing from because, she's always cracking the whip and doing something different and breaking through paradigms and breaking through blockages and stuff. And it does happen, though, that we get to a point in business and in love where we're somewhere in uncharted territory, right? So we're in uncharted territory. And what does that mean? That means we're at a point where we've never made that much revenue. We've never had that much success. We get a chance to have this huge, I've offered people, hey, I got this contract for you for your company. It's $100 million contract. Like, I can't do that. So where does that come from? I can't do that. It's because, I'm thinking logically my team isn't big enough. No, it's not. It's coming from scarcity mindset, number one. And number two, fear. It's coming from fear of success, right? And you're like, oh, Stephen, if I have a small company, how can I do a $100 million thing? Well, you ever heard of scaling through acquisition? You know what I mean? So it's, morning, David. How you doing, man? Good to hear from you. So let me put it this way. You will succeed to the degree that you believe you'll succeed. Once you get to the point of your internal compass that says, well, I've succeeded this far before, but after this, I'm not really sure. You're going to sabotage it immediately. You're going to say no. Same thing goes in love. You can only love and embrace. You can only be loved and be embraced to the degree that you love and embrace yourself, right? And what happens when someone tries to love you more than you love yourself? And you'll know this when I say it, is that you sabotage it. You try to make things come true to prove to yourself that you're not worthy. I've done it in both. I've done it when I first met my wife. I thought she was too good for me. So I loved her to the point that I could love myself. And then when she started loving me more, I was like, well, I don't want this. I don't want that. Hey, Jeffrey, thanks, brother. And immediately I started pushing her away through making it seem like to me that it was her fault and not mine. It's the same thing we do in business. Well, that guy, they wanted too much from me, or they expected too much, or I can't do that. So the way around that is not the way around. The way to face it is to confront it. What is it? Why would you say no to a huge contract? Why would you say no to someone trying to love you? It's the self-worth, the value you give yourself. So isn't that something we should all be working on? I truly believe it is. And that all comes down to the beliefs that we have inside about ourselves, the experience that we had, what other people told us, the world around you. We start talking about vibrations, this might help a little bit, or frequencies. If my world around me is telling me, and it's reflecting my own opinion about myself, that I'm not good enough or not going to make it or not going to have it, well, then I probably need to change my surroundings, don't I? And you're probably saying to yourself, hey, you can't just change your surroundings. The hell you can't. I moved here to a small village. I don't have anyone around me anymore that used to be around me at all. I choose who's around me. I choose who I jump on Zoom with. I don't have any friends here, and I'm fine with that. Right? I had two, they died. But I don't have any friends here that I have to, small talk or whatever it is that they got to do to keep me out. I'm doing my thing. I love it. I'm with my family, with my kids. We have our house, our yard, all that kind of stuff. It's fine. I know not everybody can do that. I get it. But you can choose if you go out with somebody, hang out with somebody or whatever, right? Amen, Olga. Right? That's your choice. It's also your choice to say, you know what? I don't think I can do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to say yes and figure it out later. Because as we always say, you have a solution. You either know somebody with a solution or know somebody who knows somebody with a solution, or you have it yourself. So why would you ever be worried about not being able to fulfill anything? And if you don't try, you can't fail, right? If you don't try, you can't fail. Thank you, Jeffrey. It was quite recently too. It was crazy. My only two friends in Hungary, and they're both gone. So actually I have a third friend now, but we don't see each other that much. He's actually a veteran, lives here like 20 minutes from me, which is crazy. And he's even a smaller village than I am. So How are you going to deal with growing your business if you don't think you're capable of growing your business? How are you going to, how are you going to deepen the depth of your relationship if you not feel worthy and you don't love yourself even that much? How's that going to be possible? It's not going to be possible. So how are you going to go about that? Well, I can tell you to read the book, Unleash Your Humble Alpha, because that's really going to help you find out who your true identity is, what your true identity is. When you find out what your true identity is, that's going to lead you to say, well, you know what? Actually, that's pretty cool. As an example, my true identity, we use a 2-word moniker in the book. And the 2-word moniker for mine is powerful connector. That's my identity. That's who I am right now. It's ever changing. But if I boil everything down who I am, it's the powerful connector. And what does that mean? It means I connect people with other people for win-wins. Yeah, Rick, for real, right? For real. I connect people for win-wins. That's what I do. That's my 2-word moniker, which ties into my purpose of making those connections and having a massive impact in the world, right? Joyful creator, there you go. And if you look at what's happening now, once I figured that out, powerful connector, things started flowing very easily. And then my purpose crystallized in front of me, and that was having an impact in the world around me, specifically in the veteran space. And why? Why is that my purpose? Well, as a powerful connector, I know that the people that I can connect into the veteran space have a lot more power than a lot of people in the veteran space, because they're not limited by a set of beliefs and sort of guidelines that we've grown up with. Like Rick was talking today, I was host of Glenn Lundy's Rise and Grind. We talked about the lighting the cigarette on the battlefield and how light is negative on the battlefield. So we have that in our mind, programmed, right? So when I realized that my power was the connector and that I could connect the outside of the veteran space, the inside of the veteran space, and I knew it, and it was crystal clear, and I was certain of it, and Lane was certain of it, boom, the investment fund appeared out of nowhere. And now we're taking that of your books and say, hey, thanks, brother. Thanks, brother. And now that veteran, Humble Alpha Veteran Empowerment Fund, investment fund, is going to change the lives of not only veterans who we work with, but veterans who see that it's actually possible to rise up and above. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it. And it's not just for veterans. It's for the family members. It's for those who support veterans. Hit your power band. That's right, Rick. These are the things that matter to me. These are the things that are part of my purpose. So there's no limits anymore. Why? Because I'm clear on what my power is as far as identity and my purpose is. I'm super clear on that. And what happens when you're clear on that? It creates certainty. And what does certainty do? What is certainty? Certainty is the lack of all doubt. Right? The lack of all. I like to break it up, right? So first we have belief. Like I believe. That's active. That's conscious. Like I believe in this thing. Then you have faith. That's like when you pray, I have faith that God's going to take care of my prayers. But then you pray for the same thing over and over. So do you really have faith? No, maybe, right? Maybe it's a little further than belief, but not really. And then you have certainty. And certainty is when you can completely let go of what it is that you have to do to get there. And then you have knowing, all knowing. All knowing is where I'm at right now. I just know this is working. It's not even, it isn't even a question. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening as we speak right now. That the Humble Alpha Veteran Empowerment Fund is actually happening, and we're having an impact in the world where I personally want to have the most impact, which is aligned with my powerful connector. So in the book, you're going to learn how to do all that stuff, and that will take away that self-doubt. That will take away that I've never been here before, so how can I know that? I've never done this before, so how can I do that? Doesn't matter. If the opportunity presents itself to you, there's a reason for that. Just remember that. If someone sees something in you, it's obviously there. If something pops up in front of you as an opportunity, there's a reason for that. If you turn that down, that's a massive opportunity for growth. And the same thing goes in relationships. If there's someone in front of you who's trying to love you, they're trying to tell you something. And you feel uncomfortable about being loved that deeply and that wholly and that fully, it's trying to tell you something. Wake up, embrace it, dig deep. Let go of all of the baggage that we have to carry around with us for generations upon generations. It's not your baggage to carry. You don't have to blame anybody for it. You don't have to be mad at people for it. It's there. Everyone has it. Just acknowledge it. Put it beside you. I don't need this luggage. Thank you very much. Put it down beside you. And off you go into the night. All right. Those of you in the 80s, that might remind you of Def Leppard's song Into the Night. It did me. I guess it's showing my age. So that's the key, right? To overcome that self-sabotage. That self-sabotage is you telling yourself, I've never been here. I've never experienced this. I've never felt this. So let me push it away so I don't have to, because I don't know how to deal with it. Well, get used to it, embrace it, and deal with it, because you're going to find out the way you deal with one thing is the way you deal with everything, and that's with pure integrity. Work with HIT, honesty, integrity, and transparency. Those are 3 tools that you can work with that will transform your life and those of the lives around you. And I promise you that. So grab the book, Unleash Your Humble Alpha, humblealphabook.com. Get your butt moving, and let's get you successful. Let's get you in the deepest set of a relationship that you've ever been in. All right? In the past, nothing more. Don't drive a car looking in the rearview mirror. That's right, Rick. Unless a cop's behind you, and then that's why you start swerving, and then they pull you over. It's like, why were you swerving? Because I was watching you. That actually happened to me one time. I was so nervous you were behind me, I was swerving. Hey, Medina, how you doing? All right, good to see you. So you see what I'm saying, right? You control it. You can keep going on and sabotaging your success, your relationship, or you can say, nope, I'm going to grab it, because if it's there in front of me, there's a reason for that. All right. Hey, look, I really dig you guys coming in here and checking us out every day. It really doesn't mean a lot to me. I think I've told you that 100 times, but I really, really mean it. And that adds massively to my life and my family's life and my peace of mind. So I do this for you to add to your peace of mind. And I hope that these little tidbits every single day adds to that one thing that everybody seeks in life. And that is what? Quality of life. All right. See you tomorrow. Have a fantastic day.